This made me feel so salty as a fan of this character itself that she ended up being Amiami Exclusive. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven, bringing you your weekly figure news fix. This time around, figures on pre-order between 10th to 15th of February, which is right after Wonder Festival Winter, which took place on the 9th on Sunday. Fortunately, we don't have too many figures on pre-order this week, but we do have a lot of annoying Amiami exclusives. Yeah, you can't get them anywhere else, unfortunately. And on the third-party side, we have a few figures, but not too many either. So, barely 48 hours ago, I have dropped a bombshell, 3.5 hours of Wonder Festival figure coverage, all of the scale figures, but the length of the video really tells you how much new figures there are, how many of them, because if you look at the list of timestamps I provided for every company, I spent between 1 to 10 minutes, not more than that. So you can imagine how many companies and figures there are. You can always come back later, go through a few companies and then you come back later and continue, which is why I provided all of the timestamps, which is not something I normally do because there is a lot of work to prepare those. Okay, one more thing before we proceed, I would love to wish all of you single people out there happy Valentine's Day. I'm filming this on a Friday, 14th of February. Hey, being single is a good thing because there is no annoying person. There's no annoying girlfriend or wife there lecturing you on your financial decisions to buy adult toys. Plastic women with barely any clothes on. So yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, moving on to HobbyLink Japan for our genuine licensed anime figure section. There are not many stuff on HLJ this week because everything went to Amiami Exclusive. Yeah. So starting off with the largest scale, I wasn't expecting this to be available for pre-order, to be honest. I saw this figure being exhibited in One Fest on Sunday, and I assumed that this would be around 500,000 yen. That was my prediction in my One Fest video, and I was so wrong that it's double the price. More than double, in fact. So 1x1 scale, Prisma Wing Live Scale Master Line of the detective is already dead. Siesta Wedding Bikini version, 1.2 million yen before discounts. This is quite a generous price cut. How much is that? But 72,000 yen of price cut. Very generous from HLJ. And releasing in March 2026, which isn't very long when you think about waiting only almost a year for a life-size statue. The weird thing is, I don't understand the decision behind choosing this specific character, Siesta, to be made into a life-size statue, but it is not like I understand completely what the market is like over in Japan, what the people there like in terms of anime figures or statues. So to me, this is just seasonal anime, which was probably adapted from a manga or VN, and a very random character to be made into a life-size statue. If it was a very popular character from Azulane or FGO or any trending games you can think of, then I can understand the 1x1 scale decision over here, but Siesta? Yeah, I suppose I don't know enough about the Japanese figure market. So if you are feeling rich, then go ahead and pre-order it. Yeah. We have 2 more life-sized statues in the third-party section later. Moving on to the next one here, 1x4 scale Date a Bullet White Queen Barrel Leg Bunny version, 28,000 yen, August release. Okay, I have no memory at all of this figure ever existing in the stockings form. Yeah, I did not know this thing even existed, and now we already have a barrel leg version. Okay, so this is a very cheap way to get into 1x4 scale and have a nice pair of booty to look at every day. If you feel like getting one, by all means go ahead. For me, it is a case-by-case basis with freeing figures. Some of them I will say a big no, while the others maybe yes. This is one of the latter, maybe yes, if you like what you're looking at. Not too expensive. Though, I personally suspect that the value won't go up after release, so it might be wiser to wait until after release. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next 1x4 scale. Yeah, I complained about this Asuna figure in my One Fest coverage as well. I said it looked fairly mid, and yeah, the head looks a little bit elongated. Over here in the official product pictures, it still feels that way. Her head sculpt still feels a little bit elongated, like vertically, right? The z-axis is a little bit elongated in my opinion, but not too bad at the same time. So for about 33,000 yen, you can have a 1x4 scale figure of Asuna from Sword Art Online in nightwear, which isn't a bad deal, considering freeing bunnies start at 36k usually for the new ones. Meanwhile, Hobby Stock used to have Senran Kagura 1x4 scale figures, yeah, the nurse bikini version for like 25,000 yen, so this is already quite a big price jump. Should you pre-order it early? I'm leaning towards no as well, because I haven't seen a Hobby Stock 1x4 scale figure becoming very rare and going up in value. Yeah, haven't seen that happen yet, including the Senran Kagura figures. More like their figures don't immediately become rare after release. Maybe it will take some time. Like the price will become higher gradually, not all of a sudden like the edgy brands out there like Native. So if you say you want to hold off pre-ordering this too early, maybe it's not a bad idea at all. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Now we move into 1x6 scale territory. This is just a quick mention because this went on pre-order on Amiami before One Fest itself, more than a week ago. She is Real Nafu by Bear Panda, 8,400 yen. Now available in HLJ. Realistic stuff, not my kind of thing. And the second one here, also available in Amiami since a week ago. Finger Toy. And Otaku Toys Momoa Bunny version, 10,200 yen. I highly recommend it, even though it is just a bunny figure. This is, unlike many of the bunny figures out there, the ears are actually down. She looks sad in a way, so a bit different from the usual. And this is a cheap figure. Okay, moving on to the new stuff. 1x6 scale, Taimanin RPG Adult Yukikaze and Child Yukikaze swimsuit version set of two, 48,000 yen, December release, end of the year. So, I covered this in One Fest. It was displayed in One Fest, and my opinion back then was that I wanted to see the actual product pictures, because based on the pictures taken by the journalist over at Hobby Dengeki, the skin tone, the skin color of the child version of Yukikaze looked a bit weird. Like the suntan is too unnatural in my opinion, right? I mean, you don't go from being Dutch to being South Mexican just because you have clothes covering your skin and then you go out in the sun for, I don't know, the whole summer season. Like, yeah, the amount of tan over here feels unnatural. Feels like something that will give you cancer. But I suppose that most anime and game fans, they don't care about the logic part. Like, who cares about anime logic? We know anime logic is already weird to begin with. As long the figure looks good, you'll buy it, right? So, despite my rant about the skin tan over here or sunburn over here being a bit unnatural, I won't deny the fact that the figure looks really good. Both the adult and the child version. And if I were you, I would get the set, not just the one. Yeah, you can get them separately for about 23,000 yen each, but I would just go for the set at this point. Yeah. So between the adult and the child version, there is barely 1/3 of a head in height difference. So she did not grow up at all. Anyways, the body style over here, the slender kind of body, I love it a lot. And if money is no object, yes, I would want this pair of figures. I like it a lot. Moving up to the next figure from Cube Skill, 1x7 scale medium close combat type mate, belonging to Mars 13th District Mary. That is very specific. This is like an entire background of the character in a single title over there, where she's from, what's her name, what district she lives in. And I love this so much. I think I said the same thing when I covered her in One Fest. Cute girls with weapons, always my kind of thing. And Q-Skill, their figures tend to be a little bit pricey. This is 25k. It is on the expensive side. But details galore. I love it. Like, there is nothing that I dislike about this figure. I know you are going to point out about my affection, my my preference for purple hair waifus. But I think this is more of a full package. The body style, the slender body style, my kind of thing once again. Purple hair and huge weapon. I won't pre-order it, but who knows, if I come across one in the future at a discounted price, I might pick one up. Yeah. 25k is on the expensive side, but Kyoskyo figures, they all lean slightly high in asking price, but the quality you get is worth it actually. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, by PM Office A or Plum, also from One Fest. 1x7 scale original art by N. Morikura Sunflower Girl. So this is a generous discount. Officially 20,000 yen, you can get her for around 18k in HLJ if you like her. Coming out in May, and that is this May, not next year. 3 months away. This is a very consistent pattern I've seen with Plum, where they get their figures out very quickly, within 2 to 6 months. Yeah, there are figures that come out within 2 to 3 months from them. Of course, that means that QC maybe is not as strict, and indeed, Plum has always been pretty average in quality control, but for 18k, this figure over here is not really a bad buy as long as you like the art. Yeah. I believe there is an Amiami exclusive version for around 20 or 21,000 yen, but that is more of paying more for the Amiami bonus if you want to collect those. Moving on to the next scale figure over here, Final Fantasy 15 Noctis Lucis Calum, also announced in One Fest, by Square Enix, 27,000 yen January release. Okay, I know the fear everyone has when they see the name Square Enix because the figures they make truly suck, but in this case, this Noctis over here, this is actually made by Good Smile Company. The Square Enix wants everyone to know that they made Final Fantasy, so they put Square Enix over there. So since this is made by Good Smile, I don't think you have to worry too much about the quality control. So if you like him, go ahead and pick one up. Yeah. Okay, and the last figure on HLJ for this week, not many. Pop-up rate Dorothea Arnold from Fire Emblem Three Houses. So Good Smile announced 3 Fire Emblem figures in One Fest under the pop-up rate line. Only one on pre-order, so the other two maybe in the next successive weeks you'll see them. This one is 5,000 yen August release. Well, she looks pretty nice. Yeah. And Fire Emblem, I think all this while we only had the pricey scale figures from Intelligent Systems. Pop-up rates, I think there has been a few in the past, right? But there are not many other options otherwise. If I remembered correctly, not many figures from this game. Yeah. So pick one up if you love Fire Emblem and you couldn't afford the scale figures. Now moving on to Amiami, we have a bunch of exclusives this week. The first one here, Azalane Prince Eugen Kindred Evening Spirits 1x7 scale by Pony Canyon, 27,800 yen. Wow, 28k. This is very expensive because, I mean, when you look at the full package, it is just a relatively detailed scale figure with nothing else, like no ship parts, no weapons, no fancy base, nothing, right? Just a pretty figure on a round disc base. All this for 28,000 yen. This is borderline overpriced at this point. Yes, but I won't deny that the figure is very attractive. I mean, the first thing that caught my attention is her hair. The shading on the hair is very obvious, very prominent. I love it. The skirt. The design on the skirt. I think my favorite Pony Canyon Azalane figure until today, I did mention it before as well, was, that ship girl, what's her name again? That Oni ship girl. I'm bad at remembering names. That one is pretty expensive today. So my opinion on this, overpriced. Yeah, this shouldn't be more than 25,000 yen, so it is a little bit too expensive. September 2025 release. Moving up to the next Amiami exclusive, this made me feel so salty as a fan of this character itself that she ended up being Amiami exclusive. It is not like I am being banned from Amiami, I'm not. My account over there is healthy. I've never cancelled a single order in the past few years, in fact. But they are no longer my favorite figure store to pre-order or purchase from, that's the thing. And I know that I shit on Fats Company a lot for their Amiami exclusive stunts over and over involving any character that is popular or famous. It is not like Alter is not guilty of it either. Alter is doing the same thing over here, just that they do it a little bit less frequently than Fats does. So we are looking at a 1/7 scale of Blue Archive Asuma Toki full version, 36,000 yen, or you can get the standard version at 27,000 yen, which I would highly advise against doing so. Okay, the thing is that the price difference is not that big. It is not like you're paying double, but you're almost getting double the figure. The thing is that down in the descriptions, Ami did not mention that whether we are getting 2 entire figures or just 1 single figure with a ton of separate parts in the box. I have no idea at this point whether we'll get 2 entire figures or not at the bare minimum, I mean. However, all of the sample pictures over here provided by Alter seems to indirectly indicate that we get 2 figures in the box. So with this default maid outfit, you can display her in 3 different ways actually, with the rifle, with the pistol, and then with the peace sign and holding a suitcase as well. Wow. Wow. And then if that is not enough, we can strip her down to her swimsuit, right? Yes, there you go. So this is definitely a separate head. Like, I don't think they'll give us a separate hairpiece just to swap it out. Maybe it is an entire head we are swapping out. I'm not too sure because Alter is not specifying anything over here, nor is Ami. And I don't think you'll be casting off the maid uniform into swimsuit underneath because there will be ugly seam lines along the side of the figure if it is a cast off mechanism. I'm not seeing any seam lines over here. So it has to be an entirely separate part, which means, yes, an entirely separate torso and possibly an entirely separate figure itself. My only concern over here is that whether they will make us reuse the same pair of legs or they give us an entire figure. I hope it is the latter. And then if you were to ask me, is it even possible that Alter give us 2 entire figures at 36,000 yen, meaning the average of 18,000 yen for each figure over here? I would say yes, because Alter has done this before. Yes, Hachiroku from Maitetsu last run. That figure is quite hard to find now. One of very few Alter figures that is quite popular that it became rare, right? If Alter is generous enough to give us 2 entire figures, hell yes, I will get this figure. Despite being an Amiami exclusive, I'm just undecided right now whether to pre-order it early or not. I pre-ordered Max Factory's Bunny version early because, Asuma Toki is so popular that every single third-party resin figure of hers became sold out and rare currently. Yeah, every single third-party figures of her, including the ones that are not very good. So I just feel conflicted. I feel uncertain. 36,000 yen is a lot of commitment when it comes to pre-ordering it early, but I feel like I shouldn't skip this. As far as scale figures go that is not life-sized, this is possibly the best scale figure this week. Okay, moving on to the next one, what we have over here. Okay, Mega House Lucreasis Persona 5 Royal Crow Loki version, Goro Akechi Showtime Edition, 24,000 yen, releasing in August 2025. Also from my OneFest coverage, I said that Mega House did not have any new figures. I thought this was already on pre-order, but apparently not. Pre-order opening this week, today. And the paintwork on this is outstanding. As much as I love to criticize Mega House for their overpricing, because their figures are quite small. They are around 1/8 scale. This kind of paintwork over here, this is among the best I've seen for Mega House in the world. Part of it is lighting, definitely lighting from photography, but I can tell that there is proper shading work on the paint, yeah. And we have option parts. This looks pretty good. I think you need to get it if you love Persona, yeah. So moving on to the next one, more Amiami exclusive. We have Our Treasure, which is a 1/8 scale figure of swimsuit versions of most popular anime and game characters. They are a little bit like Wave Corporation's Beach Queens series from 10 years ago, but that was 1/10. They do it in 1/8, and in my opinion, they are a little bit overpriced because a lot of figures by Our Treasure, they also bargain bin after release. They have this, what's her name again? Osakabe Hime, Assassin class version. by Our Treasures 1/8 scale, which I have been eyeing for a while, but I haven't purchased it yet. The completed figure is now half price. You can get her for around 10 to 12,000 yen. Yes, you just need to put a little bit of effort into hunting for one at Mandarake or sometimes Amiami sale section. Same thing with Med B. How do you pronounce that? MEDB. Med B. And also the many of the other FGO characters in this swimsuit, they binned pretty badly, right? And I can see the same thing happening to this ruler Skahak Skadi. Yeah, so 20,000 yen is a lot of money for a plain swimsuit figure like this, and even more so when I know the price will fall. This is exclusive, but the half completed version, half price over here, this is not exclusive. Of course, don't bother, go for the full version, but I would suggest waiting until after release. I know this is ruler class and there are no ruler Skahak figures out there, only this one. But hey, I think the Lancer or the caster versions look way nicer, right? Why buy the ruler version unless it is cheap? Yeah, so purple hair waifu, but nope, I'm not getting it. Moving up to the next Amiami exclusive from Tomo-chan is a girl. I do recommend the anime, quite hilarious actually. Carol Alston, 1/8 scale, same thing, 20,000 yen. And the half completed version for half the price. This is releasing in August 2025. So there we go. This looks like a pop-up parade. Looks very plain and boring, and 20,000 yen. It is absurd. This is preposterous, I have to say. The pricing is ridiculous. Nope. Don't pre-order this thing. Wait for it to bin if you really want a figure of her. I don't think there are any scale figures of her, right? This is the very first one. And Carol Alston is that Western girl or even half Japanese, half mixed parentage, who has migrated and lived in Japan, and then all of the weird things that come with characters like this, yeah, you can imagine. I do recommend the anime though. Moving on to the next figure, what do we have here? Okay. This is not an exclusive unless you went for the Amiami bonus version, so this will show up in HLJ at some point. Azalin, a formidable steel illustration version by Apex Toys, 22,500 yen after discount. So I think, yeah, they deducted the 10% Japanese tax over here, about 10% off March 2026 release. So when HLJ does list this figure, I would expect the pricing to be very similar to this one over here. Until today, I still regard the Alto version as the very best, simply because of that wink face expression that is executed to perfection. But this one over here is probably near the top 2 or top 3 best formidable scale figures out there. And that is including every other formidable scale figures that were announced in One Fest, I mean. Yeah. And the fact that they're using this hairy thing, this furry thing on the figure, this is nicely executed because the fur is fine enough. It is not too rough, not too big, no? So it fits the figure very nicely. For once, I don't have any complaints at all with using fabric material on the scale figure because this is executed to perfection. Yeah. So this is actually an incredible price, a very good asking price from Apex Toys for such a great looking formidable figure. It does not have to be the best because the best is 30,000 yen. Being the second best, but at 22,000 yen, this is quite the bargain. Pre-order it if you are a big fan of Formidable. Moving up to the next one. Oh yeah, this one went on pre-order more than a month ago, isn't it? I think Amiami is just bumping up the figure on the front page. I'm surprised that it isn't selling that well. Usually, if Amiami bumps an older pre-order up the front page, it means that, yeah, the pre-order numbers are quite low, so I'm quite surprised. Or maybe people are choosing to pre-order her elsewhere. I'm not sure. So get her if you like her. I did not pre-order. I did not pre-order any Zenless Zone 0 figures, but you can expect me to buy some and review some of them after release. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. This is not an exclusive either, but not yet listed on HLJ at the time of recording. Elena school uniform version. Furious Tenitol Tall series, 10,500 yen. So inflation is still kicking in. Because Tenitol Tall figures, they were 9,500 yen. Yeah, they were over 9,000 yen. So this is a 10% price hike over here. Coming out in November 2025. You know, this is not a bad purchase at all. Even with the slight price increase, not a bad buy at all. For all of the criticisms I gave, I gave Furio for their scale figures, their Phoenix line. Their Tenitol series is actually not that bad. And even more so for the tall version, I actually saw Marin Kitagawa. Yes, the school uniform one by Tenitol in a local figure store. I got to see through the window, but even when I was looking at the figure from outside the box, it looked very good, very well made. Yeah, so this could be a good purchase if you like her. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, the next three figure over here, I'm not sure if they are exclusives at all because they are releasing in March next month. And this is the same pattern we saw last week with a few Kadokawa figures where Amiami will take pre-orders for 1 month and then immediately it will be released. And so far, I've only seen Amiami do this. So indirectly, this is a little bit like an Amiami exclusive. So we have Guilty Gear Strife Bridget Color Purple, 1x7 scale, 28,000 yen. Yeah, very pricey. From Kyoskyo, releasing in March. This color scheme looks nice, but I would still prefer the original blue color because that is Bridget's color, right? But this still looks very nice, and if you want to get your hands on exclusive stuff, maybe pre-order it, but this is really pricey. Moving on to the next one here, same thing from Kyoskyo and releasing in March, pre-order period of exactly 1 month. We have Flandra Scarlet Komajo Densetsu Edition, exclusive extra color, 1x8 scale, not 1x7, 1x8 at 25,000 yen, releasing in March for 25k. I think the original one was red color dress, right? Yeah. Kyoskyo, their figures are fine. Their figures are really good, in fact. Really depends whether you like this figure or not. And also, this figure of Reimu Hakure from the same series, 28,000 yen at 1x8 scale, also releasing in March. This one, I can't remember what the original color was like. That Flandra earlier, I mean, she's always red color. This one, I can't remember. So, as you can see, Kyoskyo figures are pretty expensive. Moving on to the next figure over here, the last one of Amiami. This is from the adult section, and no, this is not a new figure pre-order this week. This is something that has just released in February, a new figure. So why am I talking about this figure? Because this figure suddenly reminded me of something that happened in Nashville in the United States. Naughty policewoman. I mean, does this woman over here seem familiar to you? Where she banged the entire department? Yeah. I mean, if you are into this kind of thing, then check out this figure. You might want it. In fact, I wonder if it is based on this policewoman. I'm not too sure. No, maybe not related. Okay, moving on to Ninin game for Insight and Be Full figures. We have 5 of them this week. I'm just going through a list over here. Illustrator collection, what are you looking at? Well, because you're not wearing any pantsuit, that's why we are looking at you. Disciplinary committee member, illustrated by Hyoma, 1x5 scale of $150 is about 22,000 yen. Yeah, Ninin game does not let me convert to yen. Sometimes the website is like that. Second one here, ball bra wearing Futanari girl. Ooh. Futa fans, check this one out. If you love your girls with a big cannon underneath. Third one here, Bishonen. Beast Boy Pet Onyx, 1x5 scale, 23,000 yen. Yeah, I'm censoring his states because of gender equality. If I'm supposed to cover up the women, I'll cover up the dudes as well. Moving on to the next one, Nikan Shoujo, Black Cat Girls Request Amane, Koyuki 1x5 as well, 22,000 yen. I can't speak too fast. If I do, I'll start stuttering because my brain seems to work faster than my mouth, I mean. Okay, and also the last one over here, Cheeky Girl Akuno-chan Angelic Sleeping Face version, 1x5, 22k as well. Releasing in August. There you go. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week, not too many. Moving on to third parties section, making use of Osh GK, our affiliate partner for third party resin figures. We have more figures, like double the amount of the previous 2 weeks, but in my opinion, nothing too exciting. Yeah. Starting off with Anya as usual, I have 2 of them this week. Anya Forger sent you a bouquet of flowers for $97. Nothing too special really. Releasing in September. every single week we have Anya figures. I think by now Anya figures have outnumbered the RAM figures out there already. Yeah. The second Anya figure over here, Chinese New Year version. 5 blessings arrive at the door. Okay, what? Oh, $618 because of life size 1x1 scale, if that is your thing. Yeah, it is not 1.2 million yen at least, because this is a small figure and there are LEDs in the base. Very cool. 1x6 scale is only $95. Yeah, more or less the same price range as every other Anya GK figures out there. Pre-painted ones, of course. Important reminder, every single GK figure that I cover on this channel, even though they are called GKs, they are pre-painted and finished figures, right? You don't have to worry about painting them yourself. Moving on to the next, okay, chibi figure, I grouped them together. We have Hatsune Miku over here from Jiaoshe Studio, $58, December release. So this is a tiny figure, I think barely the size of an Android, right? 10 centimeters, Nendo size, but you're paying $58. I wonder how many of these they will sell. Yeah. Okay, and the next GB figure over here, this is licensed. LM Studio, everything they make are licensed apparently. So maybe they'll show up in HLJ and Amiami later on. Project Sekai Luo Tianyi recycled music box, $39 only. No release date yet. $39. Seriously. Quite a bargain, isn't it? Not something that I would collect, but $39 for this is not bad, even if it is small. Because it looks pretty detailed to me. 21 centimeters, man. It's quite big. Okay. Incredible value right here. Another LM Studio figure. We have Girls Frontline Chibi Percy Career. $19? What? Is this like a trading figure? 12 centimeters including the base, so this is more like an Android size. The head is smaller, but the torso is a little bit bigger. Good Smile is selling us an Android for 6,000 yen nowadays. 5 to 6,000 yen minimum. You're telling me this thing cost $20. I really have no idea how they are doing it. Yeah. We are not yet factoring in wages, right? I mean, just material cost alone. How are they doing it? $19. This is insane. Moving up next, one single figure from One Piece. We have Boa Hancock, Year of the Snake version. Oh, that is convenient. Yeah, Year of the Snake based on the Chinese zodiac for year 2025. And Boa Hancock has this serpent thing surrounding her, right? So this one, version A, is going for $183. Version B, okay, yeah, the serpent for $95. And then there's a gold color one, $95. And then the whole set, $247. Okay, this feels very Chinese New Year indeed. In red dress and golden snake, golden serpent. Yeah, this feels like a statue of the god, what do you call that? God of wealth in a way, in Chinese culture. Yeah. Face-wise, no problem. Yeah, that is Boa Hancock for sure. Moving on to the next one here, we have 3 Evangelion figures. First one, Bone Box Toys, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Asuka and Rei Anime. What? $59? Okay, action figure. I just noticed. 1x6 scale action figure for $59. Yes, this is not seamless, because seamless means a polyurethane outer skin, and that is very expensive. But still, $59. The ugly joints don't even matter anymore. Yeah, I think this is probably doable given how wages are so cheap in China compared to many other countries. And they can recycle the same body, the same torso parts. They just have to swap out the head, right? Oh wait, did I see Ahegao? Yes, fantastic. Ahegao is always a win. Oh, I can't zoom in that picture earlier. Oh, Ahegao, yes. $60 only, maybe get one. Right, this is so cheap. This is cheaper than cheaper than most scale figures. Okay, moving up next. This is the life-size statue I was talking about, or rather dolls in this case. Okay, so for about $1,550 US, you can get yourself a life-size waifu Asuka or Rei Ayanami, or you can always go for both and have a threesome. So these are coming out in June 2025, very soon. The reason why they can get stuff like this out despite their size, that is because they are not that complex to begin with. Basically, you're taking edgy dolls, I mean bang dolls as you will call it, and then you just replace the head, right? I mean, you go to any store out there, any adult toy store out there, and then they sell all these very expensive dolls, right? More than often, the body is 90% the same thing, just that they have different bust size, and maybe the secret garden down there is a little bit of a different model, but everything else from the inner frame, usually there is a metal inner frame with all the joints. They are all exactly the same recycled parts, just that they swap out the head and the important parts. This is how they can get this stuff out so quickly, right? Of course, please don't bang it. If you spend $1,500 on this thing, please don't display it. Okay. Realistic face. So between these two, realistic face, I think I like Rei a little bit more. Though realistically speaking, if you are a fan of Evangelion, normally you want both, right? Yeah, it feels incomplete when you only get either one. Moving on to the next one, Infinity Studio licensed resin statue. League of Legends V. $855 at 1x4 scale, December 2025 release. Did I cover this last week over at HLJ or anywhere else? I can't remember. In my for the past 1 week, I had been so busy with sorting out my OneFest coverage both on social media and on YouTube that this is beautiful, but yeah, too poor for something like this. LOL. If you have the budget for a single scale figure, right? Yeah, pay attention to Apex Toys scale figures from LOL. I think they are doing KDA right now. Are they doing a figure of V? I'm not too sure, but if they haven't done so, just a matter of time, really. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. This is one of the prettiest Chun-Li third-party dolls or action figures I've seen. 1x3 scale. Like, this looks very Chinese, in fact, right? And this is the exact opposite of the ugly versions I see in Street Fighter 6. Even though it is not accurate to the source material at all. So $729 and you get to have this one in 1x3 scale. Of course, you can undress it because it is a doll to begin with, right? And I don't want to scroll through the pictures because, you know, there are pictures of her undressed or with bikini. I'm just too lazy to censor the pictures. So yeah, check out the pictures yourself. If you're interested, I think this looks really good. As long as you don't mind the fact that the face looks nothing like the Chun-Li you'll see in the actual game. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. 1x6 scale. Redemption of the Night Second Round Sophia AB. Licensed action figure. More like their own original character. By Longshan Jinshu Studio. $199 for the deluxe edition. Yeah. So deluxe and regular edition, usually the difference lies in the amount of accessories you get. Normal one is $154, why settle for less, right? And there was one thing that really caught my attention among the pictures over here. I want to show it to you actually. Where is it? It looks so badass. It looks incredible. Yep, this. What is this mask called again? I think it was a thing a few centuries ago, right? This is, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is a blend of steampunk with gothic, I think. Yeah, gothic steampunk is a common combination. And it is so well done. This is beautiful, man. It is one of those things that I never collect and don't intend to. But then, you know what? When I do see one, I still kind of want it. Yeah. I think that is the best way to describe it. And this single picture over here is my favorite picture among all of it. Oh. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Soda Studio, licensed. More like they make their own original characters, hence licensed. MILF Airlines, Dear Mother Clara, Stewardess uniform. MILF Airlines, alright. 1x5 scale regular version is okay. No price yet. No point clicking on it. Either you love it or hate it. I feel like this is inspired by some existing native figure. I feel like I've seen something similar elsewhere. Maybe the pose and the suitcase reminds me of something, but other than that, yeah, this is definitely original. Wow. I can see people liking this figure. Some of you who love figures like this, yeah, the ones who collect Q6 and A plus figures, they would love a figure like this. Moving on to the next one here from Pop Mart. Lupin the Third Fujiko Mine, $106. 106 June 2025 release. Whenever I see the name Pop Mart, the first thing that reminds me are the plastic waste. That is what people like to call them. Funko Pop. Is it by Pop Mart? I think it is, right? Yeah, Funko Pop. I mean, I don't really judge you. You are free to have the weirdest hobbies and tell me about it. But I might judge you a little bit if you collect Funko Pops. Okay, 106 is not bad of a price, but what is the scale? What is the size? Not mentioned. I don't think this is a big figure. I mean, Pop Mart is licensed figure. Action figure. So this has to be Figma size, I think. And Figma size, $100 sounds about right for something licensed. I mean, Figmas nowadays are incredibly expensive. Yeah. Moving up next, wow, Priest Hatsune Miku, but Priest is for males, right? It is more like Priestess, I think. Well, I mean, forgive those guys over there. I mean, they are from China. English isn't their first language. From Will Studio, $185 at 1/6 scale. Please don't ask me how are they able to sell something like this because of what is happening in China. My best guess is they are manufacturing this figure outside of China. Probably Taiwan and Hong Kong being the most possible places, yeah. December 2025 release. Will you get a second torso that is fully casted off? I don't think so. Yeah, not at this price. And I went through the pictures earlier. I think most likely not. But this is already very nice, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. One single Genshin Impact figure. So, Genshin Impact, we went from having outstanding third parties to having absolutely trashy ones in the recent few months. And this is one of them. Hot Studio Ganyu Swimsuit, $165. If you have $150 to spend, get the PVC figure by Apex Toys. Like, why bother with something like this? I'm not sure. Even if you wanted the lute parts, this is like soft core. This is not hardcore enough for me, at least. Technically, indirectly, she is still covered up, right? So, I'm not sure why I would spend $165 on this unless I'm a hardcore fan of Ganyu and I wanted every single figure of her ever made. Moving on to the next one here, I believe the last three figures are from Azalane. So the first one here, this is an early bird with no price yet. Friedrich, how to pronounce that? German, right? Anyways, no price yet, and this is the only picture we have. There will be 4 versions. Bathrobe version, swimsuit version, deluxe version, and special version. The special version must be the Hadaka one. So Yum's Collector Studio, I remember them, that they had these Azalane figures that are also borderline 18+. From just a few weeks ago, this Barney girl figure available in black and white. I don't remember the character's name. As for the face over here, the face looks really nice. I have no complaint about the face. Right, moving on to the next Azalane figure from Fixed Cast Studio. We have Serious Uniform, $185 at 1/6 scale, December release. Uniform? That is swimsuit, right? Is that even a uniform? $185 will buy you something way more detailed than this, isn't it? In the world of licensed anime figures. Not to mention there are way too many Azalane PVC figures that look exceptionally good. So I'm not sure what these companies are thinking when they come up with something a little bit low effort and asking for almost $200 for it. And the last one here by Miin Studio, at least this one looks quite decent. Owari, $182 for all of this. So you see the difference over there. Miin Studio is giving you everything in this picture for $182, and Fixed Cast Studio is selling you this plain and boring looking figure for the same price. I would rather you get this, obviously. Owari, serious challenges from the genuine side of things. Apex Toys and Good Smile has amazing Owari figures for around 20,000 yen, right? But with this one, at least you get that incredible base. And truth to be spoken over here, I like this base a lot. It feels like photography material for someone like me. So I do like this a lot. And the face actually looks good for once. So this could be the best value purchase of pre-order this week for third-party resin figures. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, if you found this video helpful or informative, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. Of course, please do check out my Patreon if you feel like supporting this channel in any way. And do join my Discord server if you haven't done so yet. Link in the descriptions below. Until then, thanks for watching again and goodbye.